my latest EP, Homeward, produced by Greg Ashley. It's still available to stream and purchase digitally and on cassette. Still got cassettes left. They're running out. You can find that and more of my music on iTunes, Spotify, and Bandcamp.com, not to mention on my website, mark-nelsen.com. Nelson spelled N-E-L-S-E-N. Fuck you, autocorrect. Yeah, there you can find all my solo and band music and music news.
Checking in with Mark Nelsen. Checking with Mark Nelsen.
Church bells chime. Woke the next morning where the church bells chime. Waking with that ringing in my steel drawn head, I couldn't help but thinking that the Lord was dead. Couldn't help but thinking that the Lord was dead. Couldn't help but thinking that the Lord was dead.
Being recorded, by the way.
Oh, hot dragon breath. Oh. I might do a few of these.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah.
you still working on that microphone?
Got it.
Brendan was graciously untangling my microphone. Ooh, that was fucking so sexy.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome back to Checking In with Mark Nelsen. I am he, I am it, I am the hotel. Today, yeah, that's the sound of the mighty breaths.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain. The gay pain.
Yeah. I wanted to introduce you guys formally, and I think that took care of it right there.
That's pretty much it.
We are the men working on the chain. Just checking the mic, making sure that our dragon breath doesn't destroy it. It's all right.
The Parmesans have invaded the break room. Let's start with that. What's up with your name, man? Parmesans. I've been dying to ask you this.
I mean, the real stone cold ass truth is we were fucking high, dude.
I'd imagine.
And yeah, it was funny. Like, you don't really ever hear that word pluralized that way. So we said it one time, we just cracked up, and
So some antipasti
That's
were like
it.
laying around. You're like,
no,
Parmesans,
I don't know why.
We cover all kinds of topics and things during our practices. There's no sense to it. I don't know what we were talking about. But
Right
I
on.
always give is that we're white, cheesy, and we grate on you.
You also breathe on my hand real hard. But yeah, the real answer is we were just smoking weed.
Who's the biggest stoner in the band?
Me, I would say, man, probably
And who
me.
are we talking to? This is Brendan.
My name's Brendan. I have brown hair. I'm 5'10", and I weigh about 200 pounds. Pure beef.
All right, let's get some of your other vocality.
what's up? I'm Spencer. I'm 5'10" and a half. I got blonde hair. Weigh about $165. Holding it down. The East Bay.
I'm Andrew. I'm about 180 pounds. I'm pretty keen for my age and size. My hair is red and brown.
All
Depends on what part of my hair you're looking at. We have many answers. and even more questions.
The Parmesans, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they come from San Rafael, correct?
We all grew up there. And
Shout out Santa Fe.
What's the area code out there?
415, dog.
Really?
I've had a 415 area code for my entire life.
Me too.
Oh, okay. 415 area code.
Rep 415 hard. Lifetime. Giants. We out here.
Giants.
Yeah, every time I see you, Brendan, you got that you're rocking that Giants hat.
Every time you see me, I need a haircut. That's why, yeah. Every time I feel like I need a haircut, the Giants hat comes out.
Okay.
Word.
That's when you know.
All right. Well, how are you guys doing?
Pretty booed.
They're lighting up a bowl right now as we speak.
Yes, we are lighting up a bowl.
My second guests who have lit up in front of me on mic. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, but shit's good. You know, we got it cracking off right now. Just smoking some weed. That's really, like, you asked earlier about weed in this band, and for me, like, that is my number one influence on everything in my life, really.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like, we chill and we smoke hella weed, and like that's how we just connect musically, because we're just like in the same room, hella baked together. Pretty much,
That's definitely how it started. It started like back in my old apartment in West Oakland, and we had this really weird little narrow room, and our house was totally slanted. So this was the most slanted downward corner of the house, and we would just we would chill in there and just get super baked and and jam down, come up with weird things, and then eventually I don't know, it started to sound kind of good.
Surprisingly, though, we're not a jam band, because most bands that just smoke a ton of pot just want to jam out for like 50 years.
Yeah.
We only jam out for like 1 year, and then I just noticed you got some Fight Club soap. That's pretty cool. But yeah. Oh, that's
Okay.
yeah. That's Kate. Oh, damn. It's cool. You can have it. It's a piece of work. It's a rental smartphone.
See, I'm not smoking anybody. I'm trying to compete one sip at a time here to get on some kind of like-minded level.
I'm there too, bro. Yeah, I'm not doing the weed tonight. I'm just doing beer because I'm driving.
You're on my side.
Yeah, I'm on your side, but I'm driving, so I have to just smoke beer tonight.
All right. So when was this? When did this start out? When were these weed-induced jam sessions starting out?
I think it
What year
dates.
was this?
I think it dates back to the year 2012.
Okay.
That's what I recall.
Before that, when it first started.
Yeah, maybe, but I think that's when we kind of decided we were going to be a band.
Okay.
We're like, bro, I think it's time to take it to the next level, and I think we should just be a band.
Well, we had that first show with the bass drum where we just.
Well, yeah, played a bunch of house parties like back in the day. I mean, it was like 2011.
2011.
Yeah, like late.
But there was like a bunch of other people in the group, and like we were doing some shit that we don't do anymore, and
We became the trio like probably 2.5 years ago.
Say that again?
We became the trio, like the current formation of the band, like I'd say like 2.5 years. I feel like we're
2012. 2012 is like when this band.
Okay, so you guys have been playing music together.
For longer than that, but we've been playing music together for longer than that. But like as this iteration of the band with like the name and like all that,
Well, I mean, was there a sound difference? Tell me about the origins of
we
you guys
sucked.
playing
Like we
together.
sucked. Like that was the difference. Like we sucked back then, and now we suck with less people, and like we we just suck less, really. Like we suck less, but we're still sucking it like pretty hard and long.
Introduce your individual respective roles, your instruments.
well, we all sing, we all
Yeah.
write. I think that's an important thing to get in there because it's like the only band I think that I know of, at least, where everyone is like writing and singing, and then we do like not all the time, just like right like out of like the friends
But what
that
do
we
you
play music
Andrew?
with.
What do you play in the band?
I play guitar and the trumpet.
All right.
I play the bass, upright bass, and guitar sometimes.
Okay.
sometimes harmonica. Damn, it's rough out here in the city. People jacking phones. You gotta keep your eyes open.
I play the mandolin. I also play the guitar on a couple songs. Yeah, the Praying Mantis.
Okay. So there's quite many switcheroos going on live.
Yeah,
on
we
stage.
switch it up. You know, keep it real.
So I wanted to read that sound description because before that, before the Parmesans, was it a rock band? Were you doing a completely different style of music?
It was sort of more straightforward, and I think it was we're all kind of new to like our instruments, and we wanted to I'll try to write these sort of folk songs and like folk rock songs.
Okay.
And one of our another guitar player and former songwriter, Skylar, also played like the kick drum for a while and like sat and played the drums. So it just had this like pulsing like just like straight to your forehead.
But it was music.
beat.
It was like
It was acoustic.
Acoustically.
I guess
driven.
it was more like it was like party folk sort of. Yeah.
Okay.
We all played in like rock bands. Like I know these guys were in like a really like Spencer and Brendan were in a really sick instrumental rock band when I was growing up. They always played at like the teen center and
Was that?
it was pretty
that the
cool.
Jam band?
It was no, it was more like parts, like written parts, like super. Yeah, it was riff rap rock.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it was kind of like metal, but that was tight. Me and Spencer have been playing music together from way back in the day. I played in like this, weird like prog rock, stoner rock, doom metal.
Okay.
Just played like really obnoxious songs
What
that
was it
were all
called?
just like 700 time signatures in every song. All the songs were like 50, 100 years long, and like we were called Crawler.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
No, I've heard the name.
that's
Crawler rings a bell. I mean, I've heard that name tossed at me before.
I think like the bands that we're influenced by to play this music are like not the bands that you would think,
Of course, yeah.
So it's like for me, it's like shit like Lamb of God, like
Oh yeah.
I
You were in
still
Lamb
like
of God?
when I play like fast riffs, like I'm thinking about like I got to do my like tremolo picking hella crazy like I would do in like a metal song, 'cause
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
for
I'm
sure.
used to doing it that way.
We really miss rock and roll a lot. And I think we bring that to our songs, like the songs we end up writing, the acoustic songs end up having like a rock energy or just like
Oh, it feels
like
that way for sure. yeah.
metal energy or like, I mean, we all played in rock bands, I think right previously to playing in this group. We were kind of like in these other bands as like kind of not main songwriters or anything. So this band was like really an opportunity for us to like come together and bring our songs, our material. And it just happened to be in like the acoustic setting. And it was sort of just start off like super chill, just smoking weed in the slanted house and in the bonus room, 0.5, the 2.5 bedroom. And just kind of grew from there. But I mean, we talk about doing a rock album. I think we want to do a rock album at some point.
Okay.
But we keep fighting over who's going to play drums.
That's like the best. That's like just like the best configuration. Like that makes the most sense. Yeah, like
playing drums?
I would play switch guitar and drums. No, man, I want to like do the trio. Like that's what would make it tight if like it was just the three of us and it's like the same. Yeah, we just switch off. It'd be fine. Yeah, I only want to play drums, but I'm willing to switch off and play guitar on some songs. Like the songs that like my songs, I would obviously play guitar on. So you just play drums on my songs, basically. I think it's like how it would work, right? But yeah, like really acoustic music, like no real intent behind that. Like we all like a lot of country music and stuff like that and acoustic music, but really it's just like out of convenience, dude. Like I didn't want to pay for a practice space anymore. Like I sold my drum set. I sold like a bunch of amps and like almost all of my guitars. And I just didn't want all that shit. Like I didn't want to pay for a practice space because, like money problems back in the day or whatever. And like doing acoustic music's easy, man. Like you can do that in my apartment, and like nobody gives a fuck. Like we're just singing like beautiful harmonies. My neighbor's like, yeah, that just sounds good. You know what I mean? But like if I brought my drums up there and like, it's like, all right, dude, black metal night, let's going down on fucking Hayes and Divisadero. Like that shit doesn't fly, So it's like out of convenience, but yeah, it's like way more gratifying to like play a show when you have like just hundreds of watts of power behind you. It just Yeah, I definitely miss that feeling, dude, for sure. Like, I have a full stack, you know? Like, I haven't fucking played that thing in, I don't even know, dude, like, years, man. Like, I haven't owned an electric guitar in, like, 3 years, maybe.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's a fucking blessing and a curse for sure.
And that's tight to switch it up. Like, there's too many people playing music in the world who just, like, do one thing.
No, yeah.
They just do their one thing, and they're, like, good at that. But, like, to me, that's not going to be somebody who's writing interesting music. Like, you know, like, I want to hear somebody who's writing shit that's, like, influenced by, I don't know, fucking Celtic fucking techno and fucking, like, Bay Area rap and fucking, I don't know, like, gutter punk. I don't care. Just, like, you know, like, I like the mix. So that's why this is fun. Like, we kind of can, like, throw our little spin on. I don't know if anybody, like, notices that kind of shit at all. I mean, they don't because nobody listens to the music. But, like, you know, I don't know. Like, I hope that, like, shines through.
A couple of our friends are super down. So that's good.
We have a few friends that are like pretty into our music. My mom, also a friend.
They don't come to shows, man. Your mom doesn't come out and support. Right?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't.
Our moms, like, we have to tell our moms to not come to shows.
Well, I'm luckier than you guys, I guess.
Because, like, all these guys I know playing music in the Bay Area, they're not from here, so, like, they don't have any family here. But dude, there was straight up like half a year where, like, our parents were just at all of our shows because, like, dude, my mom, like, from where we're sitting, my mom lives, you know, like 30 minutes from here, so they just, like, mob into the city and just, like, kick it, and, you know, it's tight. I'm down, you know, like, it's tight. That's, you know,
My parents have reached that age where they just can't
They just
come out
can't
to
handle
shows.
it, yeah.
I mean, I'm from here, so they I mean, my dad really likes going to shows, but it's just like if it's after 11, he just needs to stay at home, you know. Like, I have old parents, by the way.
Yeah.
Love you, mom. Love you, dad.
My parents always come out and rage. They're always like the last people there.
That's cool. You
First
guys are
people
local,
and the
though.
last
Like,
people there.
You're natives of the Bay.
No, I mean, I've lived here for quite a few years. I mean, I've been doing stuff in the city since I was a little kid. Like, my parents worked here for my entire life. Like, I don't know. I've always done stuff in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Like, in high school, like my junior and senior year, instead of, like, going to high school, sometimes I would, like, take classes at Academy of Art. And I would just, like, mob out here on the bus on the weekends because I wanted to be here. Like, I didn't have, you know, outside of, like, us playing music and shit, like, this, you know, Santa Fe, like, I was, like, cool for me, but, like, you know, we'd mob out to the city and, like, go eat at Citrus Club, like, whenever we could and just eat, like, peanut noodles, you know? Like, I would ditch high school to do shit like that and, like, go to Amoeba and, like, yeah, so, you know, I'm not, like, from the city, but, you know, I've been out here for my whole life, you know what I mean?
But so you guys all went to high school together?
Yeah.
You said?
Well, we didn't, actually, I didn't know Andrew until I was, like, 24, probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all met through like bands in the Bay Area. Or I guess were you in? How did we meet? Because I know Spencer.
We've been playing music. Spencer and I have been playing music
Right.
since we were, like,
Yeah, Spencer and Brendan have been playing music since they were like 12, and like I had played in a band that was like in the same scene as you guys in high school called Rabies. Can shout out Chris Calloway and Jack Lindgren, Spinning Lindgren, forever. Anyways, yeah, and then we met through the two bands, the Diggets and Tito. That's how I met Spencer. And then we were like playing shows together, and Tito was in our band too, in the Diggets. And then we just like sort of had the same interest, and we wanted to just play songs, so we just started doing that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, play with Brendan and Skylar," and then Andy showed up.
Okay.
But you know, shit was tight, so we just kept doing it.
Yeah, Andrew was playing like a lot of trumpet with the Diggets too back in the day, and so like I started jamming with Andrew, and like I was like, "You want to learn some Louis Armstrong covers and shit?" It's kind of yeah. So it's like so we learned like Heebie-Jeebies, which like we still play like
that's my break song.
It's Brendan's break song.
Pee song, 'cause we do a lot of gigs like 3 hours, you know, and like so when they break that out, that means I can go take a pee.
Yeah, so that's how we first broke it out, and yeah, and Brendan still doesn't play on it.
Yeah, man, that's my song, dude. Love that shit. Taking pee-pees.
I want a break song, dude.
Yeah, you don't get one though.
I get none. I stand there.
My break song is when I break a string, and then you guys go. Dun, 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 tick, 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 dun, 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 tick, tick, dun, dun. All sus chords.
So what inspires you guys the most besides, I mean, what are some of your favorite bands? What are the key influences for this particular music?
Well,
Everybody should pick
yeah,
four to
let's go
keep it
around the
short.
table.
okay. Well, we get compared to Devil Mix 3 a lot, but I don't think
Yeah.
any of us actually listen to Devil Mix 3 like, at all.
I know like one of their songs.
I know their music, but yeah.
Yeah, we're all like familiar with them, but like this one dude at this party once was like super annoying. He just kept going, Devil Mix 3! And we were in Long Beach playing at our friend Maggie's house. Shout out Maggie, what's up? How's Paris? Anyways, yeah, we were just like chilling. This guy kept saying Devil Mix 3, and then Brendan got really mad at him.
Yeah, that's a band, dude.
Yeah, I was like,
I was just, I was trying to punk him out. I punked him out a little bit.
yeah, we like to punk people in the audience. Like, if you come to our shows, we will probably punk you if you are a talker.
They're punking me on my podcast. So
Yeah,
it's kind of apparent.
we're very grateful to be here. Oh, the bands that we do like.
Wait, so
that's
hold
right.
on. Sorry. Is Devil Makes 3, like, I've always known that name. I've never listened to them. Are they actually a trio?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, they're actually a trio, and they're actually
hope
all
so.
three of them are devils. So
Just fucking scream them.
someone's screaming downstairs. They're actually having as much or more fun down there.
Boy.
But we're having fun up here too. So influences. I don't know. I have a lot of influences. They change from week to week. Right now, I've been listening to whatever's on my iPod at work while I'm slinging cakes and candy. That's a lot of Velvet Underground and the Beatles. The Beatles influence us. I have to say the Beatles,
Beatles.
as just
Yeah.
like, I mean, any.
You're not maxed
Any-
out on the Beatles yet?
Oh, I mean, I get
Yeah.
maxed out, and
Cool,
then I return to them later
Okay.
after I rest a little bit off the Beatles.
I can never max them out.
You can't, dude. Like, that's just like, you listen to that music, and that's just what everybody's still trying to do.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah,
It's the first alternative music.
you can't beat.
It's just like that sound was just like the sound.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of, we don't have to trail on about this, but like, you ever think about that? Like, the Beatles were truly like the first alternative band.
Totally.
Like, because it was within a pop context.
Well,
but
they
it's
started as like the '60s pop sound. They took that like whatever '60s pop.
it's like any,
Sound like what, like Little Richard and fucking
Yeah.
what Elvis like started, kind of like that's how they started.
There hasn't been a band I think since the Beatles that like hasn't somehow compared themselves to the Beatles or something, because they just changed it so much, and then like songwriting wise, it's just been so influential, and they went through so many different periods.
so much material.
That's a band where, like, damn, we want to sing harmonies like that. Like we want to sound like that when we're singing together. So like, that's like what we work on in the band is like singing, a lot of the time. But yeah, it's just like,
You play video games. Do you sing along to Beatles Rock Band?
no, I never played Rock Band. I mean, I've played the
Beatles
game,
Rock
but I've
Band.
never
It's a whole different world.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that before.
You haven't?
No,
It's a great game.
That sounds
It was
like
a
fun.
failed game, but it was really good.
Yeah.
That's the only rock band I ever played, and it actually tests your harmony range pretty well. It reads,
Yeah.
because you get 3 mics, for.
But like, yeah, it's like a group with a bunch of songwriters in it. Like everybody was writing songs. Like even Ringo got a few off. You know what I mean? Like, so I like that. Like those are the things that I like in any kind of music, whether it's fucking doo-wop or rap or fucking country or whatever. Like I want to hear tight harmonies.
Yeah.
I want the band to kind of be like a democratic situation where everybody's writing their own songs and like the band gets to interpret those songs. I like that. That's like a good stew for like some cool
Keeps it interesting.
some cool
Keeps
stuff,
it-
So like with
Yeah.
like the Beatles, like you're getting really a shitload of different bands in like one thing.
Exactly,
And like
yeah.
you have like this, like not only do all their albums sound different, but like song to song to song, it's just like a totally different thing every
Yeah.
time. And I think that's something like that's cool to aspire to try to like do,
For sure.
basically.
So actually, I want to transition into this next point, this next question. So do you guys each write your own songs? Or is it a one big giant melting pot of collaboration?
Well, the giant melting pot of collaboration happens, I think, for every single song, and we sort of help each other finish the songs. We kind of come to the band rehearsal with 3/4 of a song, and then the last quarter is like arranging it. This is the most important part, by the way. I mean, the genesis of the song is pretty important, but yeah, I mean, we all take our different influences and kind of create something, and then bring it to the band, and then we all kind of come up with harmonies, and we try a few things, and a lot of things don't work, and then we try something else. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I need another one of these.
Excuse me. Mine. Yeah, no, basically what Andrew said. Like,
to the top, Johnny.
all right. Let me get directly to the point, guys.
Hey, man, I'm here too.
Yeah, I don't know. We pretty much, if whoever's singing like the lead vocal on a song is who wrote the song, and then we try to throw harmonies to it. And sometimes they change like drastically, like the whole rhythm will change of the song, or they'll change keys. But it's usually it's basically one person's mostly finished song. It's going down out there.
Yeah, seriously, I don't know. The hotel's
So back to the
commotion.
Yeah, the commotions, definitely. Komodo dragons. I think back to the influences question, we were I think when it comes to songwriting and arranging, a lot of our arranging influences I think come from Paul Eyman and Arndt Smartfunkel. So like we really take like Arndt Smartfunkel was like super good at like taking a melody and just like doing like a third harmony or a sixth harmony or whatever, just following it. So we
shout out to singing sixes though, because like there's not a lot of bands out there who are singing like six chords, and we do that sometimes. So shout out to us for keeping it real, doing some like breaks out and shit.
Yeah, man.
German six chords, Italian six chords. We even play like a Czechoslovakian like flat 9 chord. See, I went to music school, so I know these things.
I learned all sorts of new things on this show, man.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
We got like this really kind of phoned in shit in the middle that we tried to lay down. It's like, I think like it's called Brandy and Pears, and that's like a reference to, I don't know if you remember a band called Creeper Lagoon from San Francisco.
No, yeah, it rings a bell.
Okay, so they were like this indie band in the 90s in San Francisco, and I had like all their records growing up. For some reason, I think I heard them on like Soundcheck on Live 105 when I was like 10 or something like that. And I just really like this band, and these dudes are like from the city somewhere. I don't know. They put out a bunch of records, and there's a line in one of their songs that I thought was, blah, 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 Brandy and Pears. Turns out it wasn't that, but this song sort of like references that band for some reason. Like I was just like listening to that band when I like worked on the song, but it's just kind of phoned in bullshit. I mean, it's like a cool idea, and I think like if we worked on it a lot, like it could be a good song. But yeah, we spent about a week on that one, and then we went to the studio and just like one take, like okay, whatever, that's what the song is. That's kind of our style. So
cool.
I would like to revisit that at some point, maybe in another form. Like maybe like do it differently. Do it like with like trombone, trumpet, and clarinet, and like that's it. Yeah. Just like do some weird out there stuff. Like I don't know.
Just like the wind blows, just like the grass grows. Some things are forever told, like a big sky on a clear night. These things has never grown, like brandy and pear, like pretty Irish girls with red hair. There's more, but who cares after all? Moment could be so fleeting, and in the twilight of a hard life, you realize it bears repeating, like brandy and pears, like pretty Irish girls with red hairs. There's more, but who cares after all?
But your guys' songs have, I mean, on this record especially, I've noticed like it's got that country roots, bluegrassy thing going on, but a lot of it's very gypsy kind of sound. Like the rhythms are very like very, very, like the instrumentation feels, the overall vibe feels a little like gypsy jazzy.
Gypsy jazz. I mean, like Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli are like huge influences on me, just like guitar playing wise. I mean, I don't really play that style of like flat picking. Well, I guess no one can really play that style because it's like a two-fingered wonder there because he got, he had his hand destroyed in a fire accident.
Was it these two or?
I think like two of his fingers or a few of his fingers were
pointer?
like fused together. So on his left hand, he had his ring and his pinky fused together until like the last knuckle. So he could do chords like that, like with that part of his hand, and then like one finger, or like the semblance of a finger.
It's so nuts.
Yeah, that can't.
So nuts.
Yeah,
That goes
that's.
over my head.
Yeah, it's like it comes on my iPod in at work like 5 times a day, and it's like the coolest thing. I think we actually like subconsciously draw a lot from that sound, like the gypsy jazz sound, especially like with Stefan Grappelli on the violin there or fiddle or whatever it is he played. But like your Brendan's mandolin riffs sound like Stefan Grappelli lines, and then with like the boom check thing going on.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, we all like jazz music. We listen to jazz music. Like, all of my solos are like pretty much completely ad-libbed. Like, every time it's going to be a little bit different. There's like a forum for that by this point, just because we've played like the songs so many times. But yeah, like I'm not like a lot of the times like writing parts for these songs that when I'm playing mandolin, like
You just jump into it naturally.
yeah, we all have like these little roles that we play in the band, and like I always like to take a little, something when I can, like, get a few licks in, just because I like to show off a little bit, like, I go see you see a lot of bands out there, and like, I like to see guys play really fast, and like I got to be the fastest, in my mind, like if I'm not the fastest in my mind, like I'm having a bad week, so like. But
ironically, you smoke hella weed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like, that's like the metal thing, I just always like that, like really fast picking. I just like that sound, but yeah, it's like ad lib. So like, yeah, there's like a jazz thing going on there in a way, and it's got like that swing. Like we're not doing just like a straight downbeat most of the time. Like it has a little bit of just like flavor to it.
Yeah.
And I think that throws people off, honestly, man. Like I think like people who like expect us to be a bluegrass band or like bluegrass music are like sort of baffled by what we're doing.
Or a folk punk band, like they think it's either like going to be like straight up bluegrass or like straight up like rockabilly, like folk punk.
I mean,
it's not really
the safest like thing the way to describe our music is just like when people ask, I just say I'm in a string band.
Yeah.
Like acoustic string. Sure. We play acoustic string music with a little bit of trumpet. But I also like to say that we play a rare breed of folk called Fibonacci folk. And then people are like,
Please explain that for me.
Well, you know about like the golden mean or whatever, or like the 5 points in paintings, like all these artists. Like the eye is drawn to like a certain ratio just of a canvas or like a square or whatever. So Fibonacci folk, like the Fibonacci sequence, like literally it is like 0, and then you add 1 to it, and then you add, what is it? It's like a certain like equation that gives you the next digit.
The band Tool is really into it.
Yeah. You actually.
Of like weird satanic like connotations. And, like, they have songs that like follow.
Wait, say that again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the band Tool is into the Fibonacci sequence, and they have songs that like where the time signature shifts are based on whatever that sequence is. I've never looked at the math personally, so I don't know. But I know that they're like into triangles and like Satan and stuff. Yeah. And it has something to do with like mystical numbers, and it's like this never-ending pattern of just like satanic numbers spewing out into the universe that like, yeah, dude.
So Fibonacci folk. Okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I mean, it just sort of refers to sort of like the quirkiness that kind of comes into the writing process of our songs, and then like the arrangement and everything. But I guess like the Fibonacci sequence, it starts off with 0. You add 1 to it. So it's like 0, 1, then 1 again, then 2, then 3, then 5, then 8, then 13 or something. So it's like it basically is the equation that gives you this like spiral the infinite spiral that goes infinitely into like a smaller point.
I sort of got this.
I don't even get it, but it's like,
here,
but Fibonacci folk just sounds cool, so that's kind of why I say it.
Right on.
Yeah, the one time, I mean, we do a pretty regular gig down in L.A. at this club, and one time, you know, we were taking a break or whatever, and this dude like came up to me and he's like, "You guys are kind of like, you know, like the Frank Zappa of country music," and I thought that was pretty dope. Like if he can pick up on like that weird shit that we're doing, like I think that's really cool. I mean, like I like Frank Zappa. Like I wouldn't say that I'm probably influenced by Frank Zappa, man. Like the Yellow Snow. Like I can't deny that is one of my favorite songs.
Sure,
you know.
One of the first songs I downloaded on Napster.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of like apt in a way, you know, like. Yeah, I think we do bring like a little weird like spice to this music.
I think sometimes like the thing I like a lot about this band is like a lot of times song material comes from like a emotional place or like a serious place, and like that kind of comes through when we like start to work on a new song or something. But then we're able to kind of get out of that seriousness, and sort of bring this like jovial like quality, like to kind of almost like make the emotions that you had when you wrote the song, like it's like a healing process almost, like working on the songs in a way, you know, just sort of like frees you of like whatever anguish, I guess just personally speaking, like whatever anguish or like pain that you felt, like that inspired you to write it. But then it just kind of comes through, and the end product comes through as like this happy thing. And then like that's what makes performing the song over and over again like possible, because a lot of times it'll get really stale. It's just like you listen to Elliott Smith, or you see videos of Elliott Smith like playing his songs, and he's super like sad all the time, and just like his music was sad, and it was like about his depression and whatever addiction, and he just kind of like got tired of it. I saw this one video where he was playing one of his hits, and he just was all pissed, and he was like, I just can't play this. He's in the middle of the song. It's just like puts the guitar down. I can't play this anymore. Like I just lost the inspiration or whatever. But with this band, it's like we can write songs that are like start at a place similar to that, and then just kind of make it fun and healing,
like resurrecting a positive emotion out of it. And that's the way to go. That's, and that allows a band to thrive and not be at each other's throats, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, we
how,
fight.
How is this band emotionally?
We fight, man. Like,
I'm sure you do.
No lie, dude. Like, I think that is going to start to change because we sort of like reprioritize what we're doing with this band. But yeah, you know, like we push ourselves pretty hard doing this. I think like more than we give ourselves credit for a lot of the times. You know, like we've done a lot in like very few years, and like I don't know, so many dudes playing music who don't do anything.
Yeah,
you know, like so it's cool. Like we've been able to do cool stuff, and like yeah, we've fought, dude. Like there's been some shitty times, but
sure.
I think now we just want to make weird music, man. Like I think that's the priority. Like we're making another album in February, and like that's all we're doing. Like we're not thinking about anything else. Like it's like that might be the last thing that we're ever gonna do. We might make 30 more albums after that, you know? But right now we're just like, we're going to make this album and hopefully it'll be good. You know, like hopefully it'll just be better. It's like another step forward in just like making like better songs that like I want to listen to. Cause like I can't listen to our music anymore. You know what I mean? Like this shit is old to me. And it's like, it's got to get like a little pizzazz going, you know? Like I want to make those songs that are like super memorable for myself, because I've written songs that like I still play, like I still remember them, like, but like I feel like my songwriting lately hasn't been in that realm, and I like want to get back to that, and just like, because you know, like everybody wants to write classic music, dude. Like it's only got to be one song too. Like we could record 1,000 songs, but like if we just got that one song that's just like transcends time, like that's what you do when you play music, you know? Like that's it, really.
Yeah. For sure.
So I mean, that's my ultimate goal. I don't think that's going to happen on this next album, but you know, you can dream. I'm out here still. I'm still out here. You know, yeah. Stay tuned.
Cool. So Flat Baroque, and do you put it out on vinyl?
No, we
Just
don't have
digitally?
we don't have money for that.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's just digital? You put out a cassette or something?
No, just digital. You can download it for free on our website, or you can give us money for it. But it's up to you.
Give them money, guys.
Yeah, just digital. Maybe like one of us will burn you a CD if you ask us on the street or something.
You said it. You guys just went on a tour for this, correct?
I mean, sort of, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like we did go on a tour. It wasn't necessarily.
I'm sure we all have a different perspective on the tour.
Well, tell me about this this so-called tour.
Okay. We were like, damn, we're going to go fly out to Virginia to play at our friend's wedding. Why don't we book a bunch of shows around that? So we hit up our homie Dave, who books us, a lot, I guess. He books most of our shit these days.
Okay.
Shout out to Chieftain Artist, LA. What's up, guys? Nick Chang.
Nick Chang in the house.
Anyway, yeah,
Came
so like
out
our friends have like this
prepped in.
little, like management company that they're trying to get off the ground or whatever. So we roll them and they book us a lot of shows. So we're flying out. We had the tickets paid for because we were, going out to play at our friend's wedding. And I was just like, hey, Dave, can we book a bunch of shows around that? And he was like, for sure. So he did.
Nice.
And we went and played all these gigs. They were every day was totally different. It was like always a different gig. Some of them were like during the day. Some of them were in the cuts. Some of them were in like pretty cracking bars. Like it was an interesting experience. It was the first time we had ever tried to do anything like that. We were on the road for about 14 days. A lot of airplanes, like we were tired and we drank a lot, dude. Like we were fuck, man. Like and it's just like we actually started in Annapolis, Maryland. But somebody else can explain like how we ended up there. There's like a pretty epic story.
Oh, please do tell.
With the airline and like all that kind of stuff.
With haste.
Yeah, so I'd never flown with a bass before, so I had to rent a flight case.
You should reiterate this as an upright bass.
It's an upright.
bass,
It's a
yeah.
3/4 scale upright bass. It's pretty standard. And so yeah, I had to go through this whole thing of renting a case for it, finding a case, renting it, and calling the airline and making sure we could take it on. And there was some technicality where if it's a musical instrument, fucking it couldn't be it couldn't be more than 70 pounds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the thing weighed like 96 pounds. But it sucked because we were told we were just like roped around. Like they said we couldn't do it, and then the lady behind the desk said like, "All right, we're gonna like do it for you. Like we're gonna make it happen." So like, "All right, cool, we're in the clear." And then Brendan quickly and deftly fucking chowed a pot brownie and tossed the evidence. And then like right after that, like they come up to us, all these TSA agents and shit. They're like, "Yeah, you can't fly with this thing or whatever." So we went through a whole ordeal and decided that we would just our buddy Chris Segura, fucking shout out. Anyway, he helped us out and he came to the airport and picked up the bass. So we just got on the plane without the bass and just trying to figure out the whole night and next morning what kind of a bass we were gonna be able to find. Yeah,
I can imagine.
I just want to give that little piece of information there. I was wasted.
Yeah, Brendan ate a weed brownie like in celebration of getting it done finally, because we got there 3 hours early, and then we finally thought we figured it out, and then you're like, "Oh nope, you're gonna have to fucking leave the base here." And our buddy Chris Segura came out, and it was just like a last minute thing. It was like we had 45 minutes until the plane left. And then he was like, "Yeah, like I'm like at rehearsal." I was like, "Dude, like help us out." And then he like came and got the bass, brought it to my parents' house. So it's just like so many like factors, just like we're in the right place at the right time. So lucky that we even got to go.
Shit just kind of like works out.
yeah. So
We had basically given up. We were like, we're just not gonna go, I guess. But then
we were figuring out like last resort what we're gonna do, and we're like, all right, last resort, we buy a Squire bass, P bass at Guitar Center, and then plug that in direct, and then after the last show, we'll smash it. No, we were just gonna smash it.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we were gonna smash it for sure. So, but yeah, I went through I was emailing back and forth with this guy who was trying to sell this like this bass, and his ad was very misleading. And I'm like, yeah, like let me like, hey man, can I like rent it from you, and I'll give you this much money, and I'll give it back to you. He's like, yeah, that's cool. And then he's like, yeah, but like I need your driver's license and like credit card information. It's like, because it's like a $25,000 bass or some shit. I'm like, oh, shit, dude. Yeah, I'm like, nah, dude. And then so we were driving up to Maryland.
Nah.
We were driving up to Maryland, and fortunately, the first night we had our buddy Scribe. We were staying with that dude. What up, Aaron? He hooked us. The Camel. 16, bro. No, that was 16. In fucking Richmond, dude. Dude, I said that. I did the thing that you're not supposed to do, and we were back in Maryland, but we had just been in Richmond, and I was just like, I don't know, he had to change a string or some shit. And I was like, yeah, you know, it feels really good to be out here in Virginia. Like, we were in Maryland. I was like, the room gets quiet. Yeah, I was like, it's good to be out here in Paris, France. Baguettes are bomb.
Everyone's just like,
holy shit, that's amazing.
People ask me about the tour. I'm like, well, it was not luxurious, nor was it lucrative.
I don't even know where the fuck I was.
It was a time. It was a time that I had.
Yeah, it was a time that we all had in our lives, man. Yeah, that was like some next level weird shit. Like the whole time, dude. Like, I wouldn't say.
Where'd you play in Richmond?
We played at this club called the Camel. That was like a weird gig, and then after that. Yeah, that was Richmond. We played at the Camel.
I played in Richmond once.
Oh, cool.
I loved it. Great show. Great people there.
Well, the Camel was all right. There was like, you know, it was like basically like we didn't have a guarantee that day, but they gave us $70 worth of beer, so that was chill.
It was basically a case of PBR, or like a case.
Yeah. And they fed us and shit, so whatever. It was like, you know, happy hour or whatever. We were just jamming for like an hour. And then the girl who opened for us, she invited us to her gig that night, and we did like... you know, hour and a half there. I can't remember the name of that bar. That was pretty fun. We were just really drunk, dude. Just so faded. And anyway, we made a little bit of money that night, and they, you know, cut me a check. And I go to this ATM in the morning to deposit this check. We had a hotel that night, and you know, just driving the van down, like giving these guys a break, just like having some, you know, time to myself to just like be alone for a minute and like go to the ATM, like, you know, hang out, whatever. And so I go to the ATM, and I put the goddamn check in the ATM, and it just eats my check.
Oh shit!
And then it's like clogged, like it's like rejecting the check, and it gets kind of clogged, and like I'm trying to get it out, and the guy comes over with a butter knife. He's like trying to help me out, and then the machine's just like, and it's just gone. It's just fucking gone. And that was food. That was like hotel and food for the next day, you know. And so I called the number on the ATM and was like, hey, you know, like the check ate. I mean, not the check. The fucking ATM ate my check, dude. Can like, and they're in the saltwater pool at this point, just chilling. Yeah, we had a nice hotel, and they were chilling in the saltwater pool, and I'm just like trying to deal with this check, and the guy's like, all right, yeah, no problem. I was like, so you gonna come out here or what? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there in like 6 hours. And I was just like, it's not even worth it. So I just went back to the hotel, and we went to the wedding and got really drunk again. Had a good time. It was cool. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's just like the first day. Like all of that shit, that's like the first day, man.
How was the wedding?
It's like the first 2 days. Wedding was nice. Yeah, I had a good time. Enjoyable. Cool.
It was the first wedding that I've been at where I actually cared about the people getting married. Because I've played weddings before and just like been the dude playing guitar in the corner who no one really wants to see. We play wedding gigs too, and like we're used to just being that kind of like. But this we played this wedding, and it was like our buddy. It was our old banjo player, Andy Brown, and you know him? Yeah, Sonny Jim Brown. So Sonny Jim Brown. Sorry about that.
That's interesting though. He was in Parmesans officially.
Yeah, he was like the fourth member to join.
Oh, he was the guy you were talking about earlier. Okay.
Well, there were two guys. Skylar from Mini Matilda, who went his separate ways to kind of pursue his own. Shut up, Mini Matilda.
Skylar and Logan.
And
it's like the 700th shout out.
Yeah, we have many shout outs. I think we're going to win an award for most shout outs on your show. So, I mean, we originally started like, forget what we said before. It's not true. We actually started as a shout out band. We would only record shout outs for other people. And they tell us kind of like who they're shouting out to and like what they want us to say.
Haircut, like we do shave and a haircut. Yeah. Like 6.5 times. And then we do shout outs.
Shout out Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my
Shout.
God. Try a shout out like harmony right now, like a
Shout out. Oh, wow.
yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was- let's try it
I was
again.
tempted to join in.
All right, Brendan, you start. Shout. Here we are. Shout out.
That would have been tight.
No, here we go. Here's the note. All right, we got it. 2, 3. Shout out. One more time.
The first note is whack, dude. It's
2,
major.
3. Shout out. You stay on the same note.
Yeah.
That was not it.
No, that was not it. 2.
That was not it.
That was pretty good.
Stay on your note.
Ready? Here we
3, 4. Shout out.
I was feeling that.
Yeah. Sick. I'm seriously using that, man. I think
Hell
so.
yeah.
I'd love
Yeah,
to
what
see
else
a
do you want us to
stand-up
do?
show from you guys, man.
I was really.
What?
Well-
Have you ever thought about that? Doing like
I mean,
an actual comedy performance?
I mean, no, but like our live performances, we are just like on, dude. Like we don't give a fuck, and we're
I've
just
seen
gonna.
you guys more.
And we're
Seen you,
just
like,
and we
twice.
just sometimes we just wild out. Like I can't speak for these guys, but I like to be pretty liquored up when we're doing this
Liquored
stuff.
up.
And you just kind of like you just let loose and like you rip on the crowd a little bit and you crack jokes and you just try to get people to laugh. Like that's that's fun for me.
the best part is when it happens in the middle of a song. Like we have a lot of songs that have like breaks of silence. There's like a line like "Your silence said it all." And then at the last show in particular, we were like having a full-on conversation, just like, we played it wrong.
Like the last verse.
I played the last verse like 2 verses in a row by accident, and then we were like talking about what we were gonna do, like amidst it. But we're so good at getting the cue back in. Just like we've played that song probably like thousands of times, literally thousands of times. And so we just like once the talking's done, probably like approaching 1,000. Approaching 1,000. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to play that song. We've done to date when we started like playing gigs, like when we started like getting paid to like do stuff. You know, that was maybe like 2 years ago. You know, we've done like well over 130 gigs like since then.
Wow.
You know, like there have been months where like this has felt like kind of full time, and it just like blows to have to like go to work and like do that kind of stuff because I'm so tired from just like, oh shit, we have to go to LA and fucking San Diego and Bakersfield, and then we have to come home. I got to work for 2 days, and we got to go do some other shit, and then we got to like, you know, record this and demo this and fucking go here and whatever, you know, like. So, you know, like, yeah, we have played all these songs a lot. So we just get to this point where when we're playing them live, like, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Like, I'm bored, dude. And I'm just trying to, like, do anything that's just going to, like, what is going to make me laugh right now? Like, that's the first thing I think of. And, like, sometimes it's at the expense of these guys because, like, you know, like, I clown them or whatever, or, like, I clown myself. But that's part of the fun of it for me. Like, you don't see, like, dudes are so serious, man.
No, I know.
Bands are so serious.
of
It's
them.
like, bro, you're playing at bottom of the hill and there's like 60 people here. Fucking chill and just like have some goddamn fun while you're up there. Like, you don't have to be a rock
To your
star.
credit,
Like,
you guys have like a great sense of humor about you collectively, and you riff on each other's energies.
Yeah, but
It's hard to do that with certain bands, like when the music's so good, but everybody's like so uptight. You know,
It's hard.
I say this from experience.
It sucks, dude, to be on stage and have a bad time in front of people. It's the fucking worst feeling. And so, like, I think that's something we all have in common is in doing this band. Is that like it's a kind of a release for us in a way.
That's awesome.
And it has to feel good. Like part of it has to feel good. Otherwise, just to be tense and scared the whole time.
when we're doing a gig where we're being paid by someone to perform music for an event or a celebration of their wedding or whatever, we're not fucking around. You know, like, that's a job for us, and we take those things seriously and we perform the music well. But, you know, like when we're at the club and we're just there and like we're just fucking there, like I feel like we're just in these bars just all the time. Like we're just always in bars like this, and like, what's fun to do in a bar? I don't know, get fucking drunk. Like, what do I have to do in an hour from now? Like, be on a stage with a microphone. Well, what the fuck am I going to do? Obviously, I'm just going to wild out and just, like, say whatever the fuck I want, you know? Like, that's fun to me. Like, not a lot of people get to experience the level of like enjoyment that I get from just doing that, dude. I love doing that, you know.
There's all this tension that builds up.
People are surprised. For sure.
You know, from playing lots of shows, I'm sure. Like at times, it feels like work. Like it's always a good time when you're on stage. You know, it's you can grow from the experience. But sometimes you're there for hours, 4 hours, and you have 2 free drinks, and you're gonna drink like 5 before you go on. So I don't know. You gotta just entertain yourself.
Yeah, it's funny that entertaining ourselves these days means like doing the craziest noises. Like I never knew that we could make these noises.
Yeah.
So that's like one of those things where it's just like, man, I'm just gonna do what makes me happy in this moment, and that's usually like making fun of one of these guys, or making fun of somebody out there, or making fun of myself, or just just trying to get a laugh out of somebody, or just like get a reaction out of somebody.
Yeah, man.
Because, dude, playing shows, going to shows, like people don't give a fuck, dude. People don't give a fuck. So if you're gonna be in that situation, at least get them to interact with you. Like you're there, man. Like even if it's like, fucking. Shout out to whatever in the back row, just like, whatever's going on back there that you're noticing that's funny to you or whatever, or something, just like, and then you get that person's attention and they're like, hey, fuck you, or like, hey, that's tight, or whatever. It's just like, or Devil Makes 3, but at least it's something. At least there's something going on there instead of just like, I'm in a sick band,
I mean, any like bands like hope, like a lot of bands like hope to like connect with their audiences, and we force like we like ask them to like look at us or something, or like just to pay attention in a way that like most bands I don't think really do, because they are in that serious thing and they're presenting like what they perceive as their art or whatever, and they want it to be like pristine, but most people don't care about that. Like people at shows, like, and I don't know, we saw this on tour, like people are a little bit warmer, like on the East Coast or like in that part of the country. They're just like, and I think they're just more responsive to Fibonacci folk in general. But
some of the shit we do is just like, it's just gutter humor. It's just dumb shit, but it makes me laugh. And some of it like can be perceived as like this super, it's like whatever. It's whatever, dude. Like everything, bro.
I think that
it's like organic and shit. Parmesans here are gonna perform a song for us. Yeah, we already did the shout out. We got that locked in to the end of time, and this is great because I get acoustics. I get rock bands, rock artists performing acoustic versions of their songs solo here, but Parmesans are actually a full-on acoustic band.
No electricity.
Say what?
No electricity.
Post-apocalypse.
we Amish motherfucking musicians.
Straight up though, like when the world ends, we're still rocking out.
Yeah,
we
dude.
don't need no electricity.
We rock out when the world is done.
So, what's the name of the song you're going to play us, and tell us a little bit about it?
Top Romulan.
Well, this song's called Top Romulan. It was written by the Romulans in 1444 D4. Okay. So we just rubbed off on us, a little bit. He's been there for like 16 years, and we were like, what?
It's called Whip Ride the Ghost.
This song is called Whip Ride the Ghost.
Call me when
And
no, for real,
no
though.
Romulans.
No Romulans at all. I lied about everything I just said. But the song you're about to hear was written in the belly of a blue whale.
Okay.
It was written at Spencer's house. Yeah. It's
Wash
like
up on shore.
Here's the story of this song. This is actually one of the first finger picking jams I ever played on guitar.
Okay.
And it was
Did you write this?
I wrote this. What did we play? Pines or
No, Call Me When.
Call Me When. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is the song. It was like the first little riff I did with finger picking on the guitar, and it was just like C major, E major, F major, and G major.
Okay.
Just like super. And that's like what the song is. We kind of struggled to like make it more complicated than it is, because it sounded good and then already just like simple. But then we decided to do like the gypsy jazz kind of like. Anyways, yeah, we were just like stoned at Spencer's house as we usually are, and like I just dodged a bullet, from like being in West Oakland. No, we were
at your house. Whatever, dude. Like,
We started that shit.
for that. So we.
So what's it called, dude?
Oh, it's called "Call Me When You're There."
All right. Let's hear it.
Ding, take one.
you back.
We did it.
Yes, we're still a band.
Glad to have you guys on, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for checking into the hotel. I hope the Babyface Hotel treated you all right.
It's been nice.
It was chill. Smoke hella
Nice.
weed. It was chill.
Continental
Cool, yeah.
breakfast.
Shout out to Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops.
So we got Brendan, we got Spence, and we got Andrew, and go check them out and check out their
Shout out
the record
to myself.
Flat Baroque. Yeah.
Parmesans, 2003.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, you're listening to Checking In Podcast, and I'm Mark Nelson. We hope you enjoyed your stay.
No.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Thank you, guys.
Shout out. Hey, every
Checking in with Mark Nelson.